So happy to have Lucy from Greer's back in the kitchen on this Wednesday. Lucy, good to see you as always.
You too, thanks.
What a colorful, healthy dish you're making today.
I was just looking at that. It is so pretty. Today we're making a one-pot dinner.
Nice.
We're making a chicken and orzo dish. And orzo, did you ever cook it at home?
Not frequently.
I love orzo, and it's funny because my aunt married a Greek guy, so we grew up eating orzo at her house back when you couldn't get it. Like the only place to get it in town was International Food Pack, and now of course it's sold in everyday grocery stores. But it's funny, and of course I married to somebody Greek, so orzo it looks just like rice, but it's a pasta. It's just a rice-shaped pasta, and I love it. You can do so much with it, and I'm kind of cooking it the way that she always made it, using chicken and beef broth you could also boil it like pasta. So a lot of people, boil it and then drain it, of course, and use it in a pasta salad or anything you want to do with it. But I like doing it like she did and letting the broth absorb into the pasta, and it just makes it so flavorful and really yummy.
That's a great idea. I like that.
I know, it's really, and she always just did it with, toasting it up like we're going to do today. I'm using just like medium heat. Yeah, maybe like 7 is great. That's 3 tablespoons of butter, and I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil in there too, and we're going to toast it up first. So like I said, you just find this on the pasta aisle. This is the one we carry in a purple bag, and this is 1 pound, so I'm going to put it all in here, and we are going to pay attention to it, let that butter melt, and this is going to start toasting up, and we want just a little light brown on it, and it's going to smell so good as we're doing this.
You're all about the combination. You're combining butter and olive oil and chicken and beef broth today.
No, seriously. So this is just such an easy dish. It comes together so great, and you can put whatever vegetables in that you want.
I like your choices.
Thanks.
I cannot wait to try this out. We're going to continue this cooking process and show you this. It's a pretty simple, easy dish.
Really simple. I use rotisserie chicken. I love use rotisserie chicken. We have them on sale every Monday, so this would be a good dish to make on Monday when the rotisserie chickens are $1 off.
All right, how about that? You're just planning out our whole week for us here, Lucy. Sounds good. We'll be back to continue working on it. We are back with Lucy from Greer's. What a fantastic dish we're making. I love the simplicity of it and also the healthiness of it. Great for the whole family.
Yes, absolutely. And a lot of kids are off for spring break, and everybody's kind of thinking about the summer and easy dishes. We're still in fall season, so this is something super simple no matter what you got going on. We're making our chicken and orzo. So we started with a little bit of butter and olive oil in the pan, and we added our 1 pound of orzo pasta. And so I've just been toasting it up for a few minutes and getting all of that oil and butter coated on the pasta. So this is just developing a ton of flavor into our dish. And now we are going to add our cooking liquid, 1 can of beef broth. And I was talking earlier, my aunt cooks it like this, letting all this flavor absorb into the pasta, which I love the way she does this. And actually, I forgot to grab some water, but I'm also going to add half a cup of water too. So at this point, we're going to let this cook for about 5 minutes before we add our zucchini in, because we don't want the zucchini to totally fall apart.
Right.
We just want it to cook through. So I'm going to let this go, and it's just medium heat. It'll start bubbling and start absorbing that liquid, and then we will add our zucchini. And I just chopped up 1 zucchini, just kind of small, and you can use whatever vegetable you like in here. Broccoli would be really good, or no vegetables.
I think what's really neat about your cooking process, though, is I think when a lot of people think about cooking pasta, they just go straight into the water. The fact that you didn't do that, but also toasted it first, really made this a unique way to cook it.
I love the way she did this. We, my parents always give me a hard time because, and I've grown into a much sweeter adult, but when I was younger, I always wanted to know, what was for supper. My aunt and my cousins lived down the street from us growing up, and so if I didn't like what my mom was making for supper, I'd pick up the phone and call Nanny and say, what are y'all having for supper? And then I'd hop on my bike and go down the street, and now that I'm an adult trying to feed kids and they're so mean, I'm like, oh my God, regret how mean I was about what we were having for supper. But she would, make this, and this is how she would do it. And she would just have it as a side dish. So just did it like this and then add some Parmesan cheese, which we're going to do later. But I was like, oh, well, let me do that and turn it into a whole meal. And it's just, you know, something different and really good.
All right, so today is Wednesday. This is the day when the Greer's ads come out, but you wanted to mention specifically about Rotisserie Chicken. If you miss it, Monday is when you have your sales on Rotisserie.
Yeah, every day we have a different deli deal. So any store that has a deli, there's a special each day. So Monday is Rotisserie Chicken Day, so it's $1 off rotisserie chickens, which is great because I feel like Monday, unless you're meal planning on Sunday and like get everything for the week, which is really hard to do, it's a great quick Monday dinner. You can just grab that rotisserie chicken and make this or make anything else. So if you are planning your meals, you could just check out what the deli has on special each day. There's a fried chicken day. There's a, you know, like I said, something different every day.
All right, great stuff. Check out the Wednesday ads as well while you're at it. We're going to come back and finish up our Orzo, our chicken Orzo, with Lucy from Greer's. Thanks for being with us this morning. It is time to finish up our chicken Orzo with Lucy from Greer's. Smelling so good in the studio.
It does. Most of that liquid has been absorbed into our Orzo pasta. We did a combination of chicken broth and beef broth. And then about 5 minutes into the cooking process, I added that zucchini that we had chopped up. And like I said, and a little bit of water in there too. So now the zucchini is tender and the pasta is tender. And so now we're just going to add our finishing touches. We're going to add a container of grape tomatoes, or you could use cherry. And I'm adding these, of course, at the very end because we don't want those to completely, you know, burst and turn to mush. We want them just to be perfectly soft. And then I have 1 rotisserie chicken. I like to use the dark meat. That's what I prefer, but you could use, you know, whatever you like, or you could just cook some chicken breasts and shred that up. And then the only seasonings that we're going to add are just a little bit of salt and pepper. And then the last will be a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. And this will be ready to eat.
What a great recipe, y'all. How quick, simple, convenient, and you can cook a lot of it so you can feed the whole family. You can have it for days to come. If you want a meal prep, it is a recipe that is wonderful.
Very versatile, too. You could do any protein or no protein or any vegetable. So a good thing to clear out the refrigerator with, leftover veg.
Sure, and in years of working on the show, too, I've learned what you were talking about there at the end. Add those little grape cherry tomatoes last because you don't want them to explode. And so you can kind of just put those in toward the end, and it adds that pop of color and a great burst of flavor.
Yes, so now you can just see it's, you know, has great, it's not too dry or anything like that, and this reheats beautifully. So meal prep would be an awesome idea and something really good to take to lunch, you know, in these little containers, and just something quick and easy and a new way of cooking Orzo that we talked about.
And that's right. So check it out. The recipe is online on the Studio 10 tab at fox10tv.com. You can get all the ingredients for Greer's, a great recipe for you, your family, or guests, or more. Check it out, y'all. Lucy, thank you so much.
Thank you. See y'all next week.